Hello! This video today is going to be a brief history of Dr. Mikao Usui, who he was, where he come from, and how he come to develop the wonderful healing and relaxation technique that we all know today as Reiki. His story starts at his birth in Yago Village, Japan, August 15th, 1865. His childhood was very normal, and the first notable thing, other than a lot of higher education, Dr. Usui was a very well educated, very well respected man in his community. Other than that, the first notable thing that comes out of his story was a massive epidemic that swept through the village where he and his wife and two children lived in around 1900. Now, this epidemic, when it swept through, made Dr. Usui very ill. Because of this, he suffered from what most might call a near-death experience, giving him visions and what he considered to be instructions from what was known as the Great Central Buddha. Now, these instructions were the beginning for him, for his big fascination with working with ki energy. It's a universal life energy that we all know today is Reiki. This is what kicked all this off, and this was in 1900. Now, in 1914, moving forward just a bit, his life had went through some changes. He was having a tough time in his business practices, and he did what any good Buddhist would do. He went on a meditation retreat just north of his home in Kyoto, and up on a mountain called Karamoyama. And while up on the mountain at the Buddhist temple in meditation, he come to the realization of how to work and how to harness and how to work with the ki energy. And this, once again, would be later known as Reiki. Okay? From 1914 to 1922, Dr. Usui did a lot of treatments on local people around Kyoto and the surrounding area. He didn't do anything big with it until 1922, when he moved to Tokyo and opened up the very first Reiki clinic in Japan. At that time, he also started to teach other students. I believe the original number was 11. Okay? And at this time, he was just teaching just these few select people that he basically handpicked. Okay? Now, he did this up until about 1924, where he started openly teaching Reiki to the public. He started taking students just out of the public. Whomever would come to him and request his teaching, if he so chose to do so, he would go ahead and teach them. Okay, this worked for him all the way up until 1926, March 9th, 1926, when Dr. Usui died. So you see, he didn't have a lot of years of teaching available to him because he passed on entirely too early. What happened, though, was in the process of starting to teach the public, his students and he decided that they should start an organization or a foundation, if you will, which became known as the Reiki Gakkai. The Gakkai was nothing more than a Reiki society formed shortly before Dr. Usui's death. There in Tokyo, it still exists, still a very prominent thing in the Reiki community. They are where we get all the old original doctrine, the original hand positions, everything that was taught in the original schools in Japan. So if you research this on the internet, you will find that the organization still exists. You will find that it's to a point very, very secretive. The best way to find out the most information about the Gakkai and what Dr. Usui himself handed down to them and what come from subsequent studies by his students, then I would suggest looking up and getting books by one author would be Frank Petter. There's a lot of information out there. Frank is one of the most reliable sources that I can think of off the top of my head. He's actually went to Japan. He has a Japanese wife who reads and speaks the language very, very fluently. He also reads and speaks the language himself. So he's done the research, and a lot of the information that he passes along in his books come straight from stuff that he's got in Japan that was originally written in Japanese. So, I mean, it's the best, most reliable information out there. And I've got a lot of respect for Frank Petter, and I think that once you pick up some of his books and look at the research that he's done, I think you will too. But this is the basically the short, sweet version of it. Now you have a general idea of where Dr. Usui come from and how he came to the Reiki practices that we have today. Look forward for more videos coming up in the near future. I'm going to be doing some video stuff on the different uses of Reiki, the application, how it's done, what it's good for, side effects, if any. I'm going to be answering all those questions. So keep all that in mind and check back frequently for more videos.